parties. I am so excited for you guys to be here, just being able to gather and connect with all these amazing people around, and especially thank you to our online platform, starting our new dinner party with you guys. I know it's going to be awesome. Well, anyways, today I want to talk to you about letting go and let God take over. And I know you're probably like, all right, let me hear this out. Okay, so have you ever been in a place where you just said, man, I would be so happy if I had some kids. And then when you got some kids, you're like, oh, damn, I would be so happy if I got rid of these kids. Or maybe you might be asking, you know what, I would be so happy, God, until you gave me a spouse. And then you got a spouse. I would be so happy, God, when you kill my spouse. Or, oh my God, I would be so happy if I had more money. Or, God, I have so much more money and I have so much more stress. Can you get rid of this stress? You know, in everything, it's like sometimes what we really want is not what we really want. And sometimes what we really want, we just got to know and trust God that He has it in control. And so I want to talk about the desires and the dreams that you might have and that you've been waiting for. And you're like, man, I can't wait. I cannot wait. I can't wait. Because God, when you do this in my life, I'm going to be happy. If you do this, if you do that, that's what I'm finally going to have my joy. That's what I'm finally going to receive, you know, I'm just going to trust in you and I'm just going to rejoice. But you know, sometimes God will put you in a place where He's going to say, you know what, I know what you really want and I know the desires of your heart. But sometimes God wants you to place that desire, to place that very thing that you really want and put it at the altar. And majority of the time, it's the very thing that you really want the most. Ooh, and does that hurt? Here's a prime example. In Genesis 22, it says, sometime later, God tested Abraham. He said to him, Abraham, here I am, he replied. Then God said, take your son, your only son Isaac, whom you love, and go to the region of Moriah. Sacrifice him there as a burnt offering on one of the mountains I will tell you about. Dang. Come on, God. All right. Guess what Abraham did? Shoot. Early the next morning, Abraham got up and saddled his donkey. He took with him two of his servants and his son Isaac. When he had cut enough wood for the burnt offering, he set out for the place of God had told him about. Wow. Dang. Abraham, you cool man, because you obeyed the very thing that you really love, the very thing that you've been sacrificing, that God told you that you would have, even though it seemed impossible, because you know you and Sarah and you know, you guys are old and you have this promise and finally you pop out this baby and now God is saying sacrifice it. You crazy God. But you know what? Sometimes that's what God wants. He wants to know that we love Him and we place Him first. And so Abraham, what he did the next day, he obeyed God and he goes up to the mountain. And as he's going up to that mountain, walking up, he places his son at the altar. And he grabs a knife and he's ready to kill his son, his only son, the one that he was waiting for, the miracle baby. And then all of a sudden, God sees his heart. And then an angel comes and stops him. And then God showed up at the last minute. So powerful. And you know, I feel like sometimes we have our dreams and we have these things we really want. And sometimes we want them so much that we forget about trusting God. We forget about the will of God. Or we forget, or we put too much, we lose faith and we just give up because we want something so bad and it tears us apart. We just grow frustrated and we just we can blame it on God. Why isn't this happening? Or just consumed by the very thing that we want, where it destroys us and it makes us unhappy, and it takes away our joy. But you know what? I feel like that's not a place where God wants us to be. Yes, he desires us to fulfill our dreams, to see us excel, to give us the desires of our hearts. I get it. I totally get it. But sometimes the way we go about it, it consumes us, and we forget who God is, because we forget to trust in him. And he wants us to trust in him. He wants us to seek after him and have faith in it, because at times it can consume us and it can take away our faith. It can take away our joy. And so I don't know what you've been dreaming about, but maybe there's something in your life where you just need to put it on at the altar and say, God, I trust you. I'm gonna ask you, what are some things in your life that you know that you need to lay down and say, God, I trust you. I've been consumed, and I've been telling you I'm not gonna live in joy until I receive it. But I feel like if we just lay those things at the altar and say, God, I lay it down and I trust you. And even if it doesn't happen, even if I'm not healed, I'm still going to remain in joy. Even if I don't see the blessing of finances that I want, I will still remain in joy. Even if I don't see the very dream and the accomplishments that I want, I will still remain in joy, because I trust in you, God. And you know what? When we trust and lay things at the altar and we trust God to take over our lives, wow, the plans that he has for us is bigger and greater. For it says in the Bible, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you, to give you a hope and a future. Woo, come on. That is powerful. So right now, what are the very dreams that you are having frustration over, that you're losing faith over, that you just need to put at the altar and say, God, I trust in you. I place it in your hands, because I know that you're a good God, and you have everything planned, and you have the best for me. What are those things that you need to place in your life? Because let God move. Because the moment we do that is the moment God we'll just watch God move in powerful ways in our lives. Thank you so much. Have a fabulous dinner party. Love you guys.